Yeah, here we are. It's Friday again. No, it did. There's a smash going to happen. Nope, nothing happened. I did some work on it. I got the fenders back on it, and they look like they're on pretty right. I was able to fix it up down below here, way down here. Oh, my, I should have left it on lift. Fix it up down here with the proper fasteners on there, and this body line here looks okay. Then the body line along the car there looks all right. I've done a bunch of body work. You can watch and see what I did. And up front here, I pulled out those grill marks again, and I pulled off the thing here. Then I also took off all the, what do you call that? Watch this where my finger goes, see? All along there. That was the, what do you call that? The trim. I took all that trim off there so that I can paint it properly. Now, I'm getting pretty close to being able to paint it. And I've got this, I'm pretty happy with the bodywork back here now. So, and then, also in there, I've finally figured out how to get rid of the change oil light. So, that's a done deal. And I think we're okay for another Friday. So I'll do up another movie for you. And that's another good week gone by. It's actually, like that's sitting on the ground there now, and I like the stance of it now. Boy, oh boy, it looks pretty good for an old car. So, we'll get her on the road here one of these days. That's all for this week, so we'll see you next week. Not quite all. Tony! Come on in. Tony's got to come in and do the inspection. There you are. He'll go right around the car and take a look. Got to jump up on top of it and put his paw print on it and stuff like that. Anyway, there you go. That's all for this week. I have to do some work next week, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, so here's a bit of a job. A little bit of a complex curve and everything. It was filled with body filler before. I found it when I was taking the tail lights out. Somebody did some brass work in there before. That might have been from the factory, who knows. Anyway, we'll just see. I'll work away at it. Yeah, another piece of work that's left over from last time. Oh well. The fellow who did the work last time, he just did everything with fiberglass. And he did a good job for what he did. But it wasn't, he told me when he was doing it, he said, I don't do metal work. And I said, that's all right, just put it together and make it a driver. So we did that, but now it's fix it up to make it a little bit better. Or, I don't know, it won't be any better, it'll just be metal. Yeah, so this end here, I thought it was all okay, but then I just decided I'd explore a little bit, and boy oh boy, you shouldn't really explore a little bit. So I guess there's an old body seam here, right there. So I'll cut it at that body seam, and then I'll cut it about there, and then maybe across about here, and see if I can get a new piece to go in there. I'll keep the old piece and model the new piece after it. This one here is not so tough, except it's got this complex bit of a curve in here. I think I can replicate that all right with my bead maker thing. But I'll have to cut it down to this edge here. And I think it sort of welds on there, and we'll see. This other side, this is the driver's side here, it seems to be all right. Just needs a little bit of tender love and care in there. But over here, that's the same seam as over there, and it's got this, like he's got that full of plastic in there. Now I'll have to make this piece of metal here, and I think I'll cut it out so that I make it down inside there too, to have it all the same. Then I'll cut this piece of metal out, and I'll fashion the new one, try to fashion the new one same of it so it looks good. Yeah, there you go. That got the bad stuff out of there. Just good stuff left. And I might have to cut a little bit more. I can see a bit more rusty stuff there, so Might as well cut it now instead of later. Yeah, there I've cut out that piece, and there's the inner piece, so I'll just have to replicate that. And there's the outer piece, so I just have to replicate that. So I've got the idea over here where the bends go. This one here is kind of straight along there, a little bit of a curve to it, but not much. This one here, it gets like it's gotta go in that way. Don't know why, but I guess that's a strength thing. So I'll just make some new pieces and stick them in there. That'll be good. And this curve here, I can use that to figure out the curve on the other side. This thing here is okay, as far as this thing, pointing way over there, this thing here is okay, near as I can tell. I'll just do a little bit of grinding on that and make sure. Yeah, a little tiny rust spot coming through there. I'm going to drill a hole in it, and then I'll fill it with then I'll weld it up again. Yeah, so right here, I drilled a little hole there. There's another layer of metal underneath it. So this top part was getting to be thin, and the metal was rusting through from the underneath. So I drilled it all out, and I'll fill it up with, I'll weld it up again, and should be okay. We'll see what happens. Yeah, there it is. All set to weld in there now. It sits right in like this. And then I've got the other piece ready to go in there also. Where is it? Put it over here somewhere. Don't you know I put it down in a very safe place, right? Let's see. Maybe I put it in here. Oh, there it is. Then the other piece sits on the outside, but I haven't cut that down to, oops, where are you? The other piece sits on the outside here, but I haven't got that cut down to size yet. As far as width goes, I'll just fit it in there as we go along, and it should work. Isn't that something? Yeah, now I forget what I had going on here yesterday. Got a shopping bag, got to go back in the car someday. So anyhow, I discovered when I was taking things apart that yeah, there was indeed a bit of rust in here. So I've made a couple of pieces to weld back in on here. And I have to make a piece to go in here. Now, there was a bumpity bump thing there that I saw a long time ago, and I wondered what it was. And it was where there was some repair work done that was like with body patching stuff, or whatever you call that, fiberglass. And so, anyhow, I've taken it apart, and I'll put a piece of metal in there. And on the other side, it seems to be all right around that spot right here. Can't see that. All right around that spot here. But at the corner here, there's a void. There's a void in it right there, so I'll make a new piece to go across in here, and then make sure that the tail lights fit back in there properly and look okay. And then we'll carry on. There's always something, hey? I don't know that I can take anything else apart. I've checked the doors, and the doors all seem to be okay. I checked the bottoms of the doors, and I checked around the doors. Didn't see any rust on them, so I'm pretty confident I'm all right there. Front fenders are new anyhow. They're only, there they are over there. Way over there, there's one, and then the other one's right over there. So I'll get them back on the car here one of these days, sooner or later. And they don't have any rust on them. All the rust up here has been fixed as far as I can tell. And so that might be, I've said this three or four times that no more welding, but every time I'm wrong. So we'll see if I'm wrong this time. There we go. I got all set to cut it along here, and that'll make it fit on the outside piece all right. Then I'll weld it in, but I've got the back piece in there already. I'll show you that in a minute before I before I weld that piece in. Yeah, there we go. It's all welded in there now. Sometimes it's not as easy as it looks. That's pretty ugly, but I'll clean it up and see how we can make it look. There now, that doesn't look too bad. I'll get that light from shining right on it. Whoops, there. So I fixed there was a little hole here, I don't know if you remember that or not, fixed that. And that's a little bit rough there, maybe I'll see if I can grind that a bit more. Because that'll be hard to get body filler in that. But the rest of it, it's all okay. There's a little hole to fix there. And it looks pretty good. It'll work. Yeah, so I was grinding on here and then fixing a hole, and I burned a big hole in it. So I figured I just cut out a little bit there, and then I made a piece. I don't know if you can see that, but I got this magnet thing. So you can just take the magnet and hold it right. Yeah. All works really well when you have two hands. Just hold it like that, and then I'll weld it in place while holding it like that. And that'll clean it off, and then I'll be all right. Otherwise, the whole thing looks not bad. Yeah, there, the magnet just held it in place while I got two of them welded on. And so now I'll just go around and weld the rest of that around there. And then clean it up and make it look good, I hope. Yeah, there you have it. So it turned out all right. That hole's disappeared. The hole that was there has disappeared. So there'll be a little bit of body work right in there, but that's all right. Now tomorrow I'll put in a piece in here and hopefully get the other side put together. Then maybe I'll take the license plate off and see if there's anything hiding behind there, eh? Well, we'll see. Yeah, there we go. I cut a little piece to fit in here. Seems to be all right. Got that bit of a lip on it, or a flange on it, that you can see there, to make this bit here fit up. And it seems to fit in the whole thing. A little hole right there, I'll have to fill that in with whatever I fill that in with. Don't know where that came from, but there it is. Anyhow, I'll get that welded in and show you the results. Yeah, there we go, it's filled in. And then that little gap is filled in there. This one here is done. So now the next one is over here. This one here is a little bit more complex because it's got a curve to it. So I'll have to figure that out. I'll just copy the curve from the other side over there. See what I can come up with. Yeah, so I guess what I'll do is I'll get this outside curve figured and attach it to the bottom plate and get those pieces put in all at once. Then I'll put the top plates on because there's two of them. This one here comes only to here, and then the outside one goes straight across. So, I'll figure it out. Yeah, then again, it might be just easier to put the bottom plate in and make this top plate the complex bit. There's lots going on in this top plate here. There's that lip there, and then there's this thing. So I'll put in the bottom piece, I'll put in this inside piece, and then I'll go from there. Yeah, there it is, got the little bottom piece in now. So what I'll do is I'll put this piece in here, across here. No, first I got to put this piece in here with a little bit of a lip on it. And then I'll put this piece that goes from here to here with the curve on it. Then I'll put the other lip on it. That should work. Yeah, there it is. Amazing what you can do. I think it's all right. I think it's nice, a nice curve to it. I'll just clean it up now and I'll show you what it's like after I clean it. Yeah, there we go. I think I got it. Went around and got a bunch of pinholes that I'd shined the light from the other side. Found the pinholes and then grinded it off, and it looks pretty good. A little bit ragged down here. I'll see what I can do about cleaning that up a bit. But otherwise, I think we got that corner there. Looks very, very similar to this corner here, so I think we're okay. I'll have to maybe just stick the tail light in there and see if it fits. There you go. Nothing's hidden underneath the license plate. Boy, I might be done welding again for the umpteenth time here. We'll just wait and see. You never know. Might have to weld some more. There we go. Excuse me. So I just hung the front fenders on and they're not not tied down yet. But looks like a car again with those on. Now I have to take all this trim off. I took the trim off the doors. This trim here, I don't know what to do about that yet. I may, I'll think about it. See what happens. Then it's coming together. Now I have to go back and I'll lift it up and see if I can get the fenders adjusted underneath. And this is done back here now. And then it's back to the old body putty and getting ready for paint. Yeah, things are coming along. Now, as near as I can figure out, this one here is pin number 1 in the middle here, and then you count them up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is that one. So these two next to each other have to be shorted out to make that light go off. I'll just see what happens. Now I've got the pair of pliers. You just put that in there and that in there, and you're supposed to hold it for like 20 seconds. I'd focus it a bit better if I could, if I had another hand, but I don't have any more hands. There, now that should have done it. Maybe. We'll go back and see. Well, look at that. Now I have green lights that say it's a happy car. I'll be shit. Well, that works. So the old service light is out now. And the green lights are out too, so that works for me. Yeah, here we are. I'm putting on the fenders, and they seem to fit all right. That body line's not too bad on the way up there. Then I had to just adjust this bit of black. I don't know if you can see any. You can see that everything's black in there, so I had to cut this off at the bottom so that this part would fold in all right and look good. And the same on the other side. And the body line seems to work all right. I haven't tied it down at the top yet. And I cut it off, that piece of metal that I had in there, I cut that off to, excuse me, so this would fit up in there properly. Then I took off the body molding here. I've got it off all the way along the door. That'll make it better for painting. And I ordered up a bunch of these clippy things. I'll try not to wreck the ones that are on there, but the ones that are already wrecked, it's okay. And along here, I'll try not to wreck any more of them, but I've got the clippy things to go on. This kind here, which is kind of that's an end piece. So you slide the piece of molding onto that, and then you clip it onto there, and at the other end, there's kind of a bolt thing, a nut to hold it. So this one here takes a thing like that. And then in betweens it takes the other kind. And then if you want to get these off, which I found out, nobody tells you this, but you just drill the center out, carefully drill the center out and pop it through, and then they just come off. You don't have to pry them off. And they're only plastic, so they drill pretty easy. Same thing on this side. I took off the molding, and it's got a bunch of this double-sided tape on there that the previous paint job got on there, so I'll get that off with a bit of elbow grease, I guess. We'll see. Then we'll paint the whole car. There you go, the fenders are back on it, and that body line looks pretty nice. no blemishes. That one there fits all right. That one there is good. I'm impressed. This one here is the only one that's not quite right. And I think the fender is right. I think that there must have been a bang on this one time, a long time ago. Now I could go and put a little bit of body fill in there just to make it so it lines up nice. I'll think about that. Yeah, and that door is okay. Now I just have to tie them on at the bottom. Then start doing some more body work along there and start prepping for paint. I think paint's the next thing. What do you know? Yeah, so I'll take these little grill things off again. Maybe you can see my hand back there. 2 screws back in here, and then 1 on the top. This side here only has 1 screw. I'll have to figure out some way to fasten that down. It was a piece of plastic there cracked and broke. Yeah, you can always find a place for more welding. This bit right from here to here is the only bit that's original on the whole rocker panel. So, and the edge of it wasn't as nice as, well, this edge isn't that great, but it's not bad. But the edge wasn't as nice as this edge down here. So I thought I'd just take a piece of metal and fold it like a what do you call that? Anyhow, I folded it over. Now I'm going to spot weld it here along these spots, and then I'll weld it on the back side. And that should look all right. I don't know I'll do that much welding on the back side because there's carpet up above there. But anyhow, I'll fix it up down here so it looks a bit better. Yeah, that cleans up that body line nicely. Now, I guess I should just do it right here too, because this lip hangs down a little bit lower here, so if I just bring that lip over to that, it'll be the same height as that, and that'll look better. There, that looks a bit better in there, cleaner. A nice flat line along there. I left a little bit of gap here because there's a gap up above it. And then that side there looks pretty good. Can't even, nice smooth line. And down there it's not as good. I'll just check the other side. I might have to do the same on the other side a bit. I'll look at it and see. Yeah, right in here. I should put a little piece right in there. That would make it look better, hey? And then right about maybe from here to about here somewhere. Because it's kind of ragged. We're right there to there maybe. A little bit ragged in there. That might make it look a little bit better. Yeah, there it is. That looks a bit better in there now. It's a nice even line across here anyhow. That's where the car jack stand is. These things are all on there. Now I might do a little bit down in here, but only to about here I think. Just to get rid of that ragged stuff, maybe even just about here. It's a little bit ragged in here out by that. Yeah, there we go. It's a little bit cleaner line in there now. And a little bit cleaner line up here too. So, I'm happy with that. That'll do. Yeah, now, so today is one of those days when real work got in the way of good work. So, it's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon already, and I'm just barely going to get started at doing a bit. So I'll be here for about an hour or so and see what I can get done. I think I'll mix up some putty and see if I can get this side over here looking right. Yeah, there we are. I went and it looks pretty ugly right now, but a little bit of sanding helps that. There were some low spots here I was able to identify, and so I filled them in, and I'll go and block sand it again tomorrow. And I decided I'd just put some filler on this whole metal panel back here because it was kind of a lumpy affair. The metal was. A little bit on the corner there. I haven't done any much on that yet, nor on this corner. I'll sand that off and see how it works out. Put a bit of body fill in here. Just to, this one here I think is okay. I might have to do a little bit of work right there. Then on this side here, there's a low spot right here and a low spot right here. So I filled them in as best I could, and then I'll block it off tomorrow and sand it up. Sand it, I guess that's what they call it. And then I'll be able to tell where the low spots are again and put a bit more fill in. That's all for today. Yeah, here we are. This is pretty near done to my satisfaction. Actually, I'm pretty happy with that bit down there. Up on here it seems to be okay. Right in here there's a bit of a dip right there. So maybe I'll be able to fix that. Otherwise, it all feels pretty smooth and good to me. Down this panel here, what am I looking at? This panel here is good. Nothing wrong with that panel. Now I was working on these. I welded in the new pieces here, so I'm just putting on some little, like a thin layer of body fill to cover over the welding blemishes. It seems to be coming along all right. This side here, I need a bit of work right here and here and here. But feels good. I'm happy down here with this whole panel. This thing here, I need a little bit of work right there. And then this panel here, I think we're okay with it. A little bit of a bump right there, so maybe I'll right here there's a little bit of a low spot. See if I can't sort that. Yeah, I'll put it up now and start working on that running board there a little bit with some body putty just to smooth it out. Oh, that high is good. And the cat's at the door, wants in. See what the cat wants. See what the cat dragged home, hey? You never know what the cat might want. He was out here a second ago meowing. There he is. Yeah. What do you think? No, he wants to lead me off somewhere. I'm pretty sure he wants to go back in the house. I'm not going in there yet. Yeah, I can't get underneath there. There we are. I'm underneath there now. So there. Take two on that one. I've got this coat of body putty on here. I'll sand it off tomorrow. And this panel here I think is okay now. It really feels nice. Like the first time I did this panel, it was a raving failure. But now that I've had a little bit more experience at it, I think it's pretty good. A couple of little scratches in here, a scratch there and a scratch there that the sandpaper put in, maybe one there. And I'll get them out with a little bit more putty on it and then sand it down. And then I've got it sanded down to 110 right now, and I got to sand it at 200, and then I got to sand it at 400. So I'll do the whole car at 400. I think 400, we'll find out. And then it'll be ready for paint. Now this thing here, this is the body work around this light here. And if you remember, that was all rusted out. I wonder if I can find the piece. Let me find the piece. Here I'm back again. Here's the piece. This was the inner piece that was underneath. Underneath this there was an inner piece that was rusted, and then this was the outer piece. Used to be right in here. So now you'd never know that from here to here is all nice and new. So that looks pretty good to me. Then there was a piece in here that was gone out of it. I still got to do a little bit of sanding work and putty work on there. And this one here, that was just, I had scraped off all the paint and stuff to make sure there was no rust there. And this corner here, I still have to do some sanding on it, so we'll get to that tomorrow. But now this side, this panel here, I did a bunch of work on here today, and it actually came out nice. I'm happy with it. I put a ruler along here, and you can't see light in behind it, so that means that it's a straight line. And it's got a bit of a convex curve on it that way, so can't put the ruler on that. Give them an inch, right? Anyhow,